Hello and welcome to Music Nerd, your weekly source for musical knowledge nuggets behind and beyond just the top 40. This week, a lesson in musical globalization via K-pop. Steve, the intro. By the numbers, 1 million, that is the number of dollars the Detroit Symphony Orchestra hopes to raise through a collaborative concert with hometown hero Kid Rock. 2, that is the number of years Santana has agreed to headline the House of Blues at Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas. It's also long enough to play Santana's album Supernatural 14,000 times on loop. And 39.3 million, that is the number of people who tuned into the Oscars this week, marking the first time since 1984 that the Oscars drew fewer viewers than the Grammys, which drew 39.9 million. Last week, on the piracy front, JimBob234567890 had this to say: I personally don't buy music or films. Everyone who bought Michael Jackson, Heath Ledger, Whitney Houston, and Amy Winehouse's works all played a small part in killing them by funding their habits. Jim Bob, I think you're trying to rationalize piracy in a way that doesn't make sense. Implying that fans shouldn't buy music because artists might develop an addiction problem is kind of like saying dog owners shouldn't feed their dogs because they might poop on the carpet. I mean, I don't personally care if you pirate music, but let's not pretend that piracy saves lives. Although, thanks for the comment. Next comment, username I'm19ice3 said, "You should talk about K-pop." All right. K-pop is South Korean pop music, and since its inception just 20 years ago, it has become the most dominant musical cultural force on the Asian side of the Pacific Rim, and it's growing in popularity right here in the USA. After the Korean War, America established military bases in South Korea, and Koreans inherited the ways of rock and roll from soldiers stationed there. What became known as K-rock followed and evolved alongside American music for a few decades before, for some reason, getting stuck on 70s-styled psychedelic rock. By the early 90s, Koreans were definitely more than ready for a different musical direction. Enter Seo Taiji and Boys. This three-piece made their debut in 1992 on an American Idol-type show, and despite receiving low scores, the Korean masses went crazy for their American pop-influenced dancing, rapping, and singing. K-pop was born, and the Korean music industry turned on a dime in a much more boy band, girl group, bubblegummily cute and innocent direction. Empowered by the internet, K-pop is now pushing beyond Asia. The genre's a fit for tech-savvy tweens everywhere, and while it has yet to make a big dent on the US charts, big K-pop names often outperform Western acts on YouTube, perhaps a sign of things to come. So there you go, a brief history of K-pop. Do you know any K-pop groups that I should be checking out? And do you think K-pop will ever be more than a musical novelty here in the West? Please let me know in the comments. In charts news, we've got a whole smattering of cool debuts. Indie alternative country group Lamb Chop's album Mr. M debuted at 190. Omaha rockers Cursive are in the 104 spot with I Am Gemini. New Orleans Funkmasters Galactic debuted at 97 with Carnival Electricos. But the real story here is Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, tearing it up at number 177. Be on the lookout for hits like Party at Mickey's House and Mousercise at the club this weekend. I'm Dan Brown, your friendly neighborhood music nerd. Watch me again next Thursday by subscribing to Fuse on YouTube. Click the logo over there. That's an order.